Oh shit.
Start one more time.
Let's start from again. Thank you guys for telling us what's going and what's not working. So welcome to another episode of Voice of Armwrestling. This is episode 11. My name is Coach Ray, together with Jan Samuelinch, and I'm gonna repeat myself because no one heard us before. First time we skipped the past two episodes. Last we did something different. We did live table practice together with Mindaugas Tarasaitis, and uh, one before that we were at Moldova, and everyone who watched the event we were commenting. So I think everyone heard plenty of us. So today we're gonna look back at 2018. In my opinion, best year for arm wrestling ever. I think on every other point than what happened back in November, it was really good, great arm wrestling year. It was best we have had. I don't know for how many years.
It's not easy to compare with
Yeah,
with other years, but
I think this
it's
was bigger.
Arm wrestling is growing, community is growing. I believe this fan base is getting bigger, and events.
Promotions are everywhere.
Yeah, it helps as well, and of course maybe those promoters don't like just to see some competition or contest from others, and but for sport it's definitely a big benefit that we see World Arm Wrestling Leagues, that we see Igor Smazarenko professional arm wrestling, and we
World
see of
Elite
course,
Arm Wrestling from Moldova, pound for pound arm wrestling,
things what's happening in
UIL,
Moldova.
and everywhere.
That helps.
Everywhere. So it was big year for many things, big events everywhere. I don't know if any other year we had so many big events, so much money involved in these events where you can win big money prizes. And we did some polls where we asked who was the most dominant, best event on Global Arm Wrestling channel, and we're gonna talk about those things, but there are so many things that happened last year, and one of the saddest things that happened was passing of Andrei Pushkar, and he was in car crash together with Oleg Zhok, and we heard that Oleg is getting better, and he's regaining his memories and already feeling much better, and we're hoping him for fast recovery, but time will tell how much impact that has. And I think that was the low point of the year in arm wrestling. I think everything else was stepping up and in getting better. For me, the start of the year in April, we finally got accepted in GAISP. So this is, for those who don't know, it's Sport Accord, previously known as Sport Accord, big umbrella where all the other sport federations are under. And maybe for someone who's more competing in some professional sport, they don't care about this, but everyone who competes on national level, go to worlds, their continental championships, this is a big deal.
Sport as arm wrestling gets recognized by world sport associations or organizations. That's really important, and for World Arm Wrestling Federation it's a big step forward. Normally Olympic game is next step, but of course it's still so much to do, and actually it's we don't see in the next few years or even in next few decades.
I don't see arm wrestling in the Olympics in next 10 years. It's hard, but this makes everything better. If you are recognized worldwide, you can have you can have more government support behind you. So most of the countries, when we will go to world in Europe, they have few athletes coming with them like we did, and more government gives you money and helps you with finances and promoting and everything, the bigger the sport is growing. So guys was, in my opinion, the biggest thing that happened in some would call amateur arm wrestling. That was the biggest thing for me, and right in the start of the year.
So we can start about biggest event.
Let's talk about biggest event. So best event of 2018 was the question, who was the best arm wrestling event in 2018. I asked questions and people gave me some variants who are the best event, and the most I picked out, and we did a poll. 1.4 thousand people were on this poll, and number 4 is Moldova Grand Prix that happened a few weeks ago. It got 5% of the votes. Then it was WL Super Series that got 15% of the votes. WF World Championship to 26%, and Undisputed Champion, 54% of the votes goes to Zloty Tour. Could you agree to this list?
I have some comments. If we talk about professional level of organization, about event, Zloty Tour, without doubt, at the moment.
Without competition. Right now,
it is number one. It is number one. I wasn't in World Arm Wrestling League this year. I have been years before. It's great event as well, but experience of organizing events, all advertisement management before event, Zloty Tour is next level, and it should be as an example for professional arm wrestling in I think in nowadays. About for myself, if I think about events, World Arm Wrestling Championship with more than 1,000 or almost
1.4 thousand,
almost 1,500 thousand athletes. That's incredible to see in one place such number of people.
It was biggest. If someone
biggest ever, probably biggest ever arm wrestling competition.
It was the biggest championship ever. Yeah, so there's no doubt about it, and I can really agree with this list right now. Moldova did great job, but they're just starting out. They're testing things. And
you were in September.
Second event was much better than the first one.
It's already better, so we will see
big improvement.
How it will grow and what will happen next.
I would add to this list Europeans in same position as worlds. I've been to both of them. Europeans, 800, 900 competitors there. Maybe some people from North America, or they don't know about how big Europeans is. Europeans are so big. There's sometimes Europe part of the world doesn't come to worlds as big as they come to Europe. And it's big event. It's same level as worlds, in my opinion. Nothing. The same people are organizing it. Only the venue and the country changes. So I absolutely love the World Championship Turkey. I love the all-you-can-eat buffets and everything else, and the beach and resort. It was a good time. But when you're talking about competition, venue, and everything, Worlds, Europe, in my opinion, same level.
Yeah. So I can agree. Like Zloty Tour and World Arm Wrestling Championship, those were two best events this year.
Yeah. Zloty Tour, we talked about this before. The first time we saw when people from all around the world that don't compete in arm wrestling just watch it came to this event, it was sold out.
Yeah.
The place was packed. It was looking beautiful, and everyone was taken care of, and it's different level. So
they were real fans of arm wrestling from all around Europe, Russia, Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania. They were
even Taiwan,
USA, Taiwan,
USA just came to watch the biggest matches in history. And so about the best event, I can completely agree with this list. Zloty Tour, then WAF Worlds, then WL, and Moldova. Moldova is improving. WL, they creating big events in North America. They are really big. They're almost mainstream, so it's a big part of arm wrestling. I can agree with this poll and how people voted for it. I want to talk about, we did interview with new head referee. So Eduard Dimian from Romania, he talked about his visions. He talked about how he sees arm wrestling and where he wants it to go, and how the rules are, and how he wants to all the professional promotions use similar rules. And I agree with him almost 100% with everything he said. I had one problem. It was about payment for referees. I want to talk about this on podcast. So he said that.
We asked him that question about.
Yeah, and he was like, he was a little bit. Not to say he doesn't want to pay them, but it's like they should love the sport and do it. I don't know any other professional sport where, okay, there are some amateur ones, but if you want really high quality refereeing, you pay them.
Yeah.
And these are people from different countries. They're skipping work for 1 week. They're traveling, and to my knowledge, from past few years, most of them didn't get paid. Some of them didn't get their accommodations paid. So I think first of all we need to take care of our referees. Either we create some kind of rule where the country that are bringing the referee pays some sum of money for him to be there or anything, but we really need to take care of our referees. You don't want to have an angry referee on table that doesn't get paid for one of the hardest jobs on the planet.
Yeah. Those who think that to be a referee it's easy.
No.
If you are a referee in World Armwrestling Championship or European Championship or any other, it's a long day. You start from morning, sometimes till afternoon, till evening.
Everyone's angry with you,
and you are agreeing with everyone. Yeah. And most likely you are not the most loved person in a hall, and it's not easy. And if you want really best professionals on a table as a referees, you have to pay them.
Yeah, I think in that subject I don't agree with him. I think we should pay the referees like every other organization does. If you want them to do high quality job, if someone pays me to do a job, I will do it better than if I know that maybe they will give me some money for
otherwise if you are for example you are a good referee here in Latvia, and okay, once you will go to World Championship
if it's close,
just to have this experience. Will you do it twice or a third time?
If you know that they are not going to pay you or doing something. I think this is the one things that he needs to fix. And we have heard different stories where referees from Brazil has come, how much their tickets cost. It's an insane amount of money and they don't get anything. So it's pretty easy to bring referees from Europe and to pay them, and because I think for every job you're doing, if you want to do it good, if you want someone to do it good, you have to pay them, especially referees. That's where I don't agree. Maybe he meant something different, but that's what I got from interview we did with him. So let's go further for something more fun. Last year I noticed this was mostly done by the WL. A lot of mainstream celebrities were involved in arm wrestling. We see video where Devon is arm wrestling with Shaq. They're going on talk shows and talking about, and it's really good thing, especially in USA, that they're doing this. We really don't know how much of the other athletes are doing this in different countries, because we mostly understand Russian and English. And if someone, let's say from Czechoslovakia, are going on TV and doing arm wrestling, a lot we don't know about it. But I think it's really good for the sport to have some mainstream support, like Jujimufu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got into arm wrestling, and I think arm wrestling just instantly got bigger. More people are interested. He's crazy athlete. He's crazy strong. And
it's same in Russia with Kirill
Sarychev, and
he's a big name in strength sports, big name in Russia.
Just Denis Siplenko is not only arm wrestler; he's a power sport athlete. Yeah. So more we get mainstream media involved in this, more arm wrestling gets bigger. We need to stop hating, because I see so much arm wrestlers hating on, like, Devon beat him, but he used his technique, and he's just, like, who cares? It's arm wrestling. It's showing arm wrestling. We should be happy for everything that's happening. If no one talks about you, you should start talking about yourself. But mainstream media and arm wrestling this year was better than ever, I think. Especially, like, Paul did promotions about all their athletes, and I think all the countries that were involved in it talked about it before. Something happened with stream? No, everything is fine. let's talk about best match of 2018.
Some problem is net, maybe.
Yeah, I guess we had some problem with net, but I think it should be fine now.
Should be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry, guys. Best match of 2018, and if you're watching now, please leave a like under the video. we need those likes. We need those shares. Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
And
share your hate.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about some comments that we got.
We did, but maybe not today. We have to prepare for that.
Yeah, we have so many mind-blowing comments.
Send us some good comments and we will talk about yours.
Yeah, so some good hate. Yeah. So one more time, best match of 2018 in arm wrestling. So I asked question and I had so many comments, and again the most comments that recognized one particular match the most, I picked out 4 and we did a poll. So in first place it was Devon Larratt versus Matt Mask, 73%. It was about 600 people who voted on this one. Second is Oleg Zhok
and Matt Mask, yeah.
Yeah. Second is Oleg Zhok and Andrei Pushkar from Moldova match. Third is Betkili Oniani versus Vresh Serdyakan. And fourth is Plamen versus Hajimurat in Worlds.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with this list, especially with placing. But again, most people don't know all the arm wrestlers. They don't know how great are the middleweights. They don't know how good these matchups were. And almost all of these I watched live, except I watched live match with Devon and Matt, but I wasn't there. So
I am surprised we don't see Dennis and Devon on that list.
Yeah, because it was too one-sided. It was something.
It's not about some equal fight or some incredible techniques or tactics, but
I think this was more about who's most interesting. Who was the most interesting in 2018? So Devon and Matt Mask match was really interesting.
It was actually.
It was good. But my pick for the number 1 would be Betkili Oniani versus Vresh Serdyakan. That was crazy match. We watched it live. It was how he finally beat Betkili when everyone thought that he's unbeatable on 75 kilo class with left arm. It was, I don't know, 6 minutes or more.
It was a long fight.
Long fight, 2 rounds.
And also it was an important fight. It was fight for a world champion title.
Yeah, it was finals.
So it was finals.
They had.
And Zrej came back from B-side. He was in B-side and he beat
twice. So, and in qualification they had one amazing match. So if you haven't seen Betkili Oniani versus Vresh Serdyakan, Google it, look at that match, and just and then look how Betkili Oniani has beaten everyone before that, and it is really impressive. Then I would pick after this one Devon Larratt and Matt Mask. It was entertaining. It was good match. We saw that there was a chance for Matt to actually win Devon, but it was I will not say really close, but it was more.
It was very close, and Devon used. He was not cheating. It's not correct to say cheating, but he was
using everything.
Referees were allowing him to do to win that match. He was close on that level. What's allowed or not allowed to do. So, but that's a sport. You do everything to win on table.
So Oleg Zhok versus Andrei Pushkar in Moldova. I like that match because we saw Oleg beating Andrei on Leon's Cup.
In
Ukraine.
Yeah.
But we saw it happen again in Moldova, so that was him being over him. Yeah. So
it was not so much about some quality or interesting match. It's more as a
finally.
Finally, and also as a surprise for
because a lot of people said that the first match was like no, it was fake, and he gave up and this and that, and when after that there was no doubt. Andrei tried to beat him, he couldn't beat him. And in fourth place here is Plamen Dimitrov versus Hajimurat Zoloyev. it was a good match. It was
in a qualification 85 kilo class World Arm Wrestling Championship this year. Right arm.
Yeah, we really waited for this match, and Oguzhan Kochak with Zoluyev too, but this was so intense. So Plamen is so good on his top roll, and he opened Kajimurat up, and Kajimurat has been a beast this year. Last year wasn't the best year for him. We did an interview with him. You can find the interview on our channel, 2 videos back. So, but yeah, I enjoyed that match too. Do you have something to add for
best match
of 2018? There were a lot of great matches, but like something that would goes over everything. Like you said, Dennis and Devon, but in my opinion, too one-sided, too dominant from Dennis. The hype of the match and everything, it was completely different thing.
I really love the match Engin Terzi and Mindaugas Tarasaitis.
Yeah, from the last
Zloty Tour final at 70 kilo class. Which went from me really surprised. I would say I didn't expect that. Engin was in his position. He was dominant. He took Mindaugas' hand. He was close to pin him, and Mindaugas, who is known as a really good top roller, were able to press Engin back with dead wrist. So
now they will have a.
My mouth was open. I was watching what's happening. Is it really true? That was incredible match, and they will have a super match in February.
Yeah, and Engin is taunting him on social media so hard. He's it's so funny. I absolutely love it. Every day there's different new post, and you don't know is he talking like shit or is he talking good things about Mindaugas? It's so funny, and I absolutely love it. I'm really excited to see that match. It's going to be very, very interesting. What can both of them do? They both agree to be at 73 kilos.
73 kilos. They will pull both arms, right and left.
Five rounds. Five rounds.
Yes,
five rounds. It doesn't matter if it's 5-0 or 2-3. It's going to be 5 rounds. So we talked about the best matchups and Devon and Dennis, and that was the historic match. This was something arm wrestling fans waited for 8 years or even more, and it finally happened, and we got answers to our questions and
some new questions
again. Like, what can anyone else do, and is this possible? Because most of the people that are really deep into arm wrestling, experts, they said like, well, who can beat him now? Like, who can beat Dennis now? Or can Devon come back to this, and what's happening then after this? But history was made, and world was excited for this. I have a video of the all matches of the all 6 rounds plus 7th round where they just fought off for fun. On my channel, it got more than 1 million views already. So it's been just over a month, and it's more than 1 million. So people are rewatching it, and new people are watching it. So we know that arm wrestling community isn't just 10,000, 100,000. It's more. It's millions now. So it was the biggest, most anticipated match in arm wrestling history, in recent history.
Yeah, but the thing, that match, if this match would happen in 2010 or 2009,
it wouldn't be as big.
No.
The
thing is, people were waiting for this match for so many years.
It's like good wine. It's like good wine. Yeah, it's needed to stay a little bit in the show.
Only shows how important before a good match is to make this all promotion before, all this advertisement before, so people start to analyze who could beat this. That helps.
And I think no one. A few people said it's going to be 6-0, but not a lot of experts said it's going to be 6-0. So it was amazing thing for arm wrestling world that this finally happened, and it will be the biggest memory, I think, most positive memory of 2018, that this match finally happened. We got answer to the question who's the strongest left arm, and we can move past that and go to different things.
in Moldova we did provocate Travis Bagent a little bit to ask him who is the best left-hand arm wrestler. And it's good. It's you like or hate it, but and you can have your own opinion about that. But it's again, it helps for sport to bring some more fire to this question.
Because like, okay, everyone's talking about Levin. Levin can take him on.
Yeah.
But who else? And Travis like, I can take him on. Yeah. And it was the best interview we have done, most fun interview we have done. If you have never seen it, again, it's on our channel, or just Google Travis Bagent interview.
Yeah, and you can say Travis is he's not strong enough. He hasn't done anything spectacular in the last few years, maybe, but he has done a lot actually. But he has been best left-hand arm wrestler in North America for
as he said, the
10, 15
more times.
Years in a row. Yeah,
sometimes he lost.
Sometimes, but so again, Europe versus North America. That's always fun.
We saw return of a legend in John Brzenk this year. So John, not only he returned to arm wrestling table, he returned in arm wrestling life, and Ryan Bowen brought him back.
Yeah,
and
that's great. That's great for sport. That's great for all fans of arm wrestling to see John again.
Yeah, if most of the people just got into arm wrestling, they start looking at arm wrestling videos, most looked videos and everything, and they like, okay, so this is good. So Devon, we know Devon, Tsiplenko, and then John Brzenk, and then you look back and like John has done it all, beaten everyone, considered greatest of all time, and he's back on table. It was really cool to watch him in Moldova. He was in good shape. He wasn't in bad shape, but it's like opponent that he pulled, Margaret. He was he was too much for him right now, but we will see how this goes, because Cobra said he lit a fire under his ass, so maybe we'll see really dedicated John Brzenk coming back to table, and that he does podcast together with Ryan. It's really good for arm wrestling, I think, giving his opinion, just talking about that he's 54 years old, something like that.
Born 1965,
53, 54, something like that. So and someone comes and looks like he's that old and he still does it, so more people again can get into the sport. Because why are we doing this? To get more people into the sport. It's not about beating everyone, it's not about getting everyone tired or something. At one point you will have no one to arm wrestle with. This is why we need more people into the sport of arm wrestling. So John Brzenk is back, and that's a good thing. Let's talk about another poll we did, most dominant arm wrestler of 2018. So 1.3 thousand people voted in this poll. Number one spot is Denis Tsiplenko.
No big surprise.
Number 2 is Levan Saganishvili. Number 3 is Oleg Zhok, and number 4 was Vitaly Letin. So Denis Tsiplenko received 80% of the votes, Levan 10, Oleg 8, and Vitaly 2%.
Dennis did just one event in this year, but
I really think it was enough. So if in this list Dennis didn't compete this year, there would be Devon Larratt in this list, and I think in number one spot. Even though he lost, let's say that fight didn't happen, but he still lost to Michael Todd, he would still be on this list, and he still be considered most dominant, I think, just because. And him beating him in the way he did, I think no doubt about it. Most dominant arm wrestler right now is Denis Tsiplenko.
Please.
Yeah. Number 2 is Levan Saganishvili. Great year for him.
European Championship,
World Championship, and winning his vendetta. Yeah, very dominant. If Dennis wasn't there, he deserves. Yeah. Oleg Zhok, before his accident, I would say even more dominant than Saganishvili, beating not only his class beating everyone, going to different tournaments and beating
European champion, world champion, and Moldova Open Cup in September, champion left arm. So
and a few other big tournaments as well. So what he did before that, Vitaly Letin as well, winning. He lost
in Europeans
right arm. Yeah, but after that he was very dominant. And in this list, I could add Sasha Andreev, but on Moldova he wasn't as good as he was in Europe and Worlds. And almost every other athlete we can put here had suffered some kind of big loss this year. So without losses, it was Oleg Zhok, and it was Levan Saganishvili, and Denis Tsiplenko. From the big names, we can find different arm wrestlers that hasn't lost this year, but from the big names.
Question where you are competing.
Yeah, Hadjimur Zuluyev just he hasn't done more big tournaments this year. He just Europe Worlds and at start of the year Lotoshino. So he almost made to this list, but not
Rustam
really.
Babayev?
He lost in Moldova. I didn't like his performance on Vendetta, and nothing else really. Some Lotoshino and some smaller tournaments as well. Would you agree to this list?
Definitely, there are no question. Denis Tsiplenko, Levan.
Yeah. Those are the big guys and big dogs.
They both were really dominant. No one of lightweights were so dominant.
No.
Yeah, of course, Oleg Zhok, but if you watch Daniel Prokhopchuk, Engin Terzi, Mindaugas Tarasaitis,
they still lost some, won some, lost some.
Yeah. They winning and losing.
Yeah.
Mayorov was really good this year, but he won in Moldova.
He won. No, he didn't win. He was second with both.
In Moldova.
Or he won one
I think he won in Moldova both arms. But he lost in the Zloty Tour. He lost against.
I completely. It could be, but he was good in Europe. He wasn't that good. He was. I don't know which place.
So lightweights, no one really was so dominant. If it's question about most dominant.
Most dominant, Vitaly Letin, Oleg Zhok, Levan Saganishvili, Levan definitely, and Tsiplenko. So. What else happened big last year? So many big tournaments, tournaments with big money prizes that finally got to Arm Wrestling World, and not only on one side of the ocean, but everywhere. So we see UAL coming back. We saw WL doing their different thing than past year. Pound for pound arm wrestling, Zloty Tour. Next year they will do top 8, so it's gonna be top 8 and Zloty Tour together with that. And so many tournaments, like every weekend you can find different big tournament in some country, and especially in Europe, like every week we have something to talk about. Did you saw this match, or did you see that this guy won this one? So arm wrestling is more than ever. I think, especially from the side where we're sitting, it's more than ever.
For regular spectator, those professional events, they are more entertainment than World Arm Wrestling Championship. They are really fun to watch, and it's helps the sport to grow. From my viewpoint as an athlete, or from side, what I see, I really would like to see. It's a question we are talking all the time about, and sometimes maybe too much. But I really would like to see doping control in those professional events.
Let's talk about that. I see already on the chat that people are talking about this, like that, and leaving comments under. Does they test Dennis or this and that? So you need to understand that right now we would love to have doping tests done regularly at every tournament. That you come, that you know that everything is. If you haven't done anything wrong, then everyone else will be clean as well, or at least they will try to hide it or something, like, at least. But when we talk about doping controls, we know that European and World Championship, they're doing doping controls. National level, we're in Latvia doing doping controls, and some other countries as well. But for Zloty Tour, for WL, Moldova, they didn't do doping
European Championship and World Arm Wrestling Championship, like WAF, World Arm Wrestling Federation Championship, are the only two big international tournaments where you have doping tests or doping control.
And when someone looks at, like, Denis Tsiplenko right now is considered number one, and he has admitted this before for using and what he has used before, and I don't think it's good for a sport that you look at your top guy and you don't know where he would be without performance enhancing drugs. Where we don't know that, and I would love to have doping tests more. Some different sport organizations, like in powerlifting, they say if you want to make a tournament in your country, that we will allow you to do, or we will help you with promotion, everything, you need to do doping control. It's compulsory. You need to do it. There's no talk about it. And in arm wrestling, it's right now, it's like wild west. Yeah, they don't care.
In professional events, you don't see.
Yeah.
For a regular tournament to do a doping control, why it's not so easy? It's also expensive. It's expensive to do.
It's expensive. Yeah.
Every test it costs about
300 euros.
Two plus, 200-300 euros. So, and it's not only for like first place. If you do test, you have to do for top three or at least one from top three. If it's regular tournament, it's expensive for organizers.
Yeah.
But where I see it's much more easier, arm fights. Arm fights, for example, when it's a fight for a champion title, arm fight, two opponents, two athletes, no problem. For example, in February, Engin Terzi, Mindaugas Terzitis, both of them to do doping test before event. Is it a big problem? 500 euros?
Yeah, if you have money. Then, yeah. But I think science will go forward. It will be cheaper, more in detail, because we saw these big things coming up like every weekend. Some different athlete from different era, they found that they cheated with this or that, and they found it. Did you heard about John Jones? Yeah, it's they found the same thing again in him. It's one pictogram, so it's 1/50 millionth of a gram. It's like so crazy. Like, who cares about that? That's completely different.
It's not helping for your performance.
Yeah, it's not helping.
Such
like,
small, but
he already suffered his sentence and everything. Why again? But
but maybe it's as a proof that you have used before.
Yeah, but he already suffered consequences on that, and I think at that point it goes further. It goes more than. Like, we need to fight, but we don't need to know like what I ate for breakfast in 2001, you know. And this is what they're trying to find.
In a doping test, this evolution really big jump was about 2012, 2013.
When they started doing in arm wrestling, you mean?
Not only arm wrestling they started to do in 2006, 2007, but in 2012, 2013. This quality of doping tests really get better. It really increased. That was a time where much smaller result of some metabolism were able to find in your sample.
Yeah.
So it's
I remember when I went to first Europeans, 2012 or 2013. I don't remember, but in that year in Congress, they said they're going to do more tests. So it was like going from 20 tests to 60 or something, or 80. And I remember the next year I came, the guys that I was fighting that was looking 3 times bigger than my class, they all went 3 times smaller than my class, and they got beat. So doping tests are good, but we need more. I think we need more, not only in Worlds, Europe, but in all events. If we in Latvia can do it, I think everyone can do it, and it will help a sport a lot. Because I don't. When someone says like, "Do you use doping in arm wrestling?" So like, I'm not using, but I know that some guys are using. But you cannot win without doping. And then they show a picture of Tsiplenko. It's like, yeah, oh my God. You know, it's harmful for sport, for every sport. And if we want to go further, we want to get recognized. And at one point, the sponsors will not look at you if you have everyone's on trainable and anything else. You know, your poster boys are not looking human. This is what happens.
I'm worried more about this athlete part, that in some point really where money prizes are getting higher, people who still maybe are fair, they start to think about really to use something to get in this. And if arm wrestling is developing really in this professional side, we need those doping tests also in this professional side, not only
it's
in
like
this so-called amateur side.
In UFC and MMA, they said like they test like crazy. Like in UFC before the fight, John Jones was tested 6-8 times this year.
Professional boxing the same before fight.
Before, after, in the middle of training and everything else.
So this could be like a doping test 1 month before fight, a doping test directly before fight, or even after fight. So. Yeah, but it's a money. It's a money to do more doping tests. You need more money as well. Yeah. It's not for free.
Yeah.
So people who are saying why not to do doping test for everyone in World Arm Wrestling Championship, where are 1,500 athletes.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, calculate how much it will cost for you.
$500,000 just for doping.
Just for doping. So it's impossible to do for everyone.
Now. Yeah. And we're hoping it will get less expensive, cheaper, and we can do it more. And just the bigger governing bodies, like guys, will ask for more tests. This is what I'm hoping, because there's not any different way we can get into Olympics. We need to do more tests.
It's not only about Olympics; it's also as a sport develop.
Yeah. So this year. I had some big personalities in arm wrestling. So these are the people that helped the sport grow.
You did such a poll as well?
I just asked question. And it wasn't on poll, but it was Igor Mazurenko.
Igor Mazurenko, organizer of Zloty Tour.
So his interviews that he did, he helped promotion. Like most of the videos that he does is 100,000 views. They have big platform and they're really professional about it. And second was Devin Larratt, definitely. Every video he does with his phone camera, just walking around, it's inspiring and it's really good to get inside of his head, how he thinks. And John and Ryan started doing their podcast, talking about stuff that's going on in the world. Also, we were on the list as well. And also Alex Toprol started doing some more of training videos, more of challenge, can you beat me videos. And Toprol King Artem Taranenko also started doing some interviews, some training. So, and there are a lot of more like arm wrestling YouTubers that are doing this thing. I remember I started back in 2017 in October. I started doing some exercise videos and going over. And then in October, we started work together with Yanis. And this year, where I wanted to go, it went over there. And we're super happy for everything that happened. And we have so big plans for next year. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. And we want to bring more to arm wrestling community, go to more events. And people are really enjoying interviews, even though we keep interrupting people when they're talking. and they're enjoying as the champ as well, but they really hate when I'm talking. So it's fun right now. It's really fun. We tried.
When I do those interviews, usually
it's a conversation.
It's a conversation, but usually I know them really well, and I have been talking with them a lot of times before, and also a lot of things I ask I know myself, and so it's I'm not asking for myself. I want that all others hear that opinion. Yeah. But what else? I really think helps for sport, and that what really I want to show for all arm wrestling community, and not only for arm wrestlers but for others as well. There are really so much great personalities in arm wrestling. People who are maybe they are great at tables, they are great arm wrestlers, but they are also great personalities. They do a lot of things also out of arm wrestling, and
just talking with all these different athletes, people. I think it really helps us to get more perception what is this sport, because if someone right now is watching and they're not really into arm wrestling, it's extremely complicated, especially when you know what you're doing, when you understand what's happening. And we know that some people that are really good, they don't know what the hell is happening on table. They are just good. But arm wrestling is very complicated. Everything that happens on table, your preparation, we train really hard like hell. It's not an hour practice for us. It's usually 2-3 hours, really hard. Yeah.
And not once a week.
Yeah, I really want to show people that that side of arm wrestling, because most of the stigmas that they think that we're still in bars and arm wrestling, but we come to gym, we train, work on table, work on technique, think about strategies, think about weak spots, do our recovery. It's very, very complicated. It's not. I remember when I was doing powerlifting, and said like, when you're gonna stop doing just that one motion? In arm wrestling, it's more complicated. That's easy. Stop doing easy stuff. But it is. You just need to move the bar in straight line to get the best results. So 2018, I think, was really good year for us, for Latvia too. I think we got double European champion, and I think if Vladislaus wasn't injured in Worlds and he came in the shape that he was in Europe, we would talk about most dominant. He would be on that list, I think.
Next year,
yeah. Next year
we will talk
Sander
about him.
Shedis winning Zloty Tour, going to Moldova. Some different. We have new stars in rising, and it was a good year for Latvian arm wrestling, I think. Yeah, all the numbers says that it was really good, and more people are knowing about us, about this gym, coming to training, and all around good year for arm wrestling. Do you have something to add to all of this?
So you want to say see you next year?
Yeah. So we're gonna do next podcast next week. That's gonna be on 2019, and after that we're gonna do a long pause.
Long?
Yeah.
No, we will do one more. I think directly after next week. So it's next Saturday. We will have a chance to do one more.
So 2 more
or 2 more.
When are you leaving?
Yeah. Okay. So 9.
Does we have anyone from Australia?
Australia,
right now?
Yeah.
So we have one on 3rd of January. No, and you're leaving on 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one more.
So we will do one more.
So we will do one more, and Janis will go to Australia, do some seminars.
Yeah.
All over the country.
Yeah. I will fly to Melbourne. I will do one seminar in Melbourne. Then I will go to Brisbane. And after that, I will do one more in Sydney. So it should be 3 seminars in Australia. I had to go in March this year, but it was problems with papers, so I didn't get my visa. It was strange. No, I did get, but I get
30 minutes,
like 20 minutes before my flight, so I didn't went. So we will do it. We will do it in January. So I will go to Australia.
They have summer there, yeah.
It's summer. It's winter here. It's. I think it's some plus 38.
Jans is escaping. They're saying it's going to be minus 20 Celsius in here in January. So Jan's going where it's 50 degrees difference. So yeah, I'm going to Norway. We will talk about specifics on these seminars.
I think also in January.
So I will have super match next week. Next week we will have. Some tournament in Latvia, also super match. We're gonna do live feed from there, and I'm fighting Estonian overall champion. Mm-hmm. I'm beating him. No chance, 0 chance, less than 0. I'm feeling confident, feeling good, strong.
Norwegian or Estonian? Estonian.
Estonian.
Yeah, overall champion.
Yeah, Estonian overall champion, originally from Ukraine, Andrei Utskevich. So it's going to be fun. I really want to compete. I haven't competed in so long, so I want to go on table. But right now, everything feels good. My arm doesn't hurt. My right arm is back, and my left is really strong. On last table practice, it was really good. Really good practice. It was such fun. Thanks, Mindaugas, for coming. It was really, really cool stuff. But maybe let's look at some. Maybe they have some questions, and then
just one.
Okay, let's do one question, and then we have to go. So. So something about Florida. So hi to Florida. Can you recommend someone with smaller hands to at lighter weight? Coach, do you recommend someone with smaller hands to stay at a lighter weight? Would you recommend someone?
It's definitely easier because of course lightweights normally have smaller hands. The size of hand is not so huge, but there are some examples of not so big hand, like Arseny Leo, short fingers, not so big hand. Rustam Babayo, same, not so great anthropometrics again. Even
it really depends how strong you are. If you know that you can move up, go move up. If you need some new challenges, if you feel that you cannot still beat anyone at that weight, there's no point of going up. But it really depends on you. There isn't one formula that works for everyone. It would be too easy if we would just be on our shelves. So by sizes, by arm sizes, and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So of course a big hand is a benefit and it's easier, but if you train smart, train hard, even is not so big hand, you can be world-class arm wrestler, and there are a lot of examples that have proved that before.
Yeah. So it really depends on you. What about Jok health? So Oleg Jok is talking, he's up and he's getting better. That's the last information we got. Go look up Igor Mazurenko did a video with him, talking with him. World Championship 2019. It will be in Poland again. Yes, in Poland on September. On September, really weird date.
I think first week of September.
Yeah, so I will need to skip school.
Yeah, a lot of Europeans usually start school in the first week of September, but we will see.
Yeah. So one more, and then we finished. Every time I pull, I have extreme pain around my brachialis tendon at the insertion head, just above the elbow, on the outside of the arm. Is that normal? Because of this, I can no longer pull or train.
Insertion point outside of elbow, it's more sounds as a lateral epicondylate.
Lateral epicondyles, yeah.
So it's very possible some inflammation of where tendon connects to bone on lateral joint of elbow. Is it normal? No, it is not normal. Pain and training are not two things.
A little bit of pain is
no, there's always like no pain, no gain. But actually, if you do exercise and it's getting more painful every time you lift, it will not give you any benefit.
You will not get any better.
No.
So rest, ice, ice heat method.
It's for beginning, but after that you need to find the reason. Like pain is a body self-saving system, and if body brain give you some pain, so that's a like a body trying to say you that you need to do something different.
You need to stop and just look.
If it's really lateral epicondylate, work more with wrist extensors, work more with finger extensors, do some
overhand barbell curls,
all amplitude curls. Also work with your shoulders. It's really big possibilities that problems with elbow is connected with wrist and also with shoulder.
It can be different things. Just first rest. Don't do things that causes the pain, and then slowly work your way up.
Yeah.
Because it can be. It's not golfers. It's tennis elbow. Tennis elbow. Yeah. So Thank you everyone for watching. Click that like button. We need it. We're gonna do next episode on next Thursday, start of the year. What else? We're doing some cool stuff on Patreon that's gonna be up in January. You will find out. So everyone who wants to support us, they will have some good chances to support us. We're making some T-shirts, something new, some merchandise. So all things are coming. We're going forward, and thank you everyone who already supports us. And I hope this one had better sound than the